Hello everyone, we are outside of the Amex. You might see some Brighton players, soon players go past. Potentially, you never know if you stay tuned to this video. This is the last word when Newcastle have picked up 1 point here down in Brighton. Yes, hello everyone, hope this is in alright. So,
camera's that way.
And I'm just having a look around because they've got this new fancy fan zone, which you might have seen.
We were just checking out the score, weren't we? Because Chelsea have just taken the lead early doors against Liverpool, which is obviously not ideal.
Yeah, we will update the league table a little bit later. But Newcastle come down after Manchester City had picked up 3 points on Friday, and Aston Villa also picked up 3 points. But
that was irritating.
I know it was. But we had to get something from today, and we have. But let's begin with the team news. There was a little bit of talk about Joe Willock and Lewis Smiley, but apart from that, there wasn't any shock, was there?
No, I agree with the team that was set out. Again, harsh to drop Barnes with the decent nick he's been in. Willock, for me, has to play ahead of Miley when you are replacing Joe Linton, because he brings a lot more energy and forward kind of gumption than that of Miley. I think Miley would be more of a natural replacement for Tonali, or something like that. I'm not saying he has to play there, but again, I agree with. As Nick Pope just is about to walk behind us. But yeah, I agree with the team.
Yeah. So, in terms of...
Alexander Isak is about to...
is this all we're going to do here?
Ice in the veins, Alex. Ice in the veins.
Yeah, and Bruno's dad's behind
Trips.
the camera. Kieran Tripp, yeah, right. Tell me this was a hot spot, didn't I? I did tell you.
I mean... From a kind of professional perspective, it is a bit odd that you have to make. We've missed Willock as well. You have to make the away players come out at the stadium and walk round, kind of unsupervised, really.
Yeah, there's Bruno's dad there as well.
Yeah, I find that very odd. I mean, to be fair,
you didn't have much can on, did you?
To be fair, this is built for championship purpose. I think this was not built to be a Premier League stadium whatsoever. It reminds me of Bolton and Rotherham more than a proper Premier League stadium. But anyway, I agree with the starting 11.
Brighton, obviously, a couple of pacey wingers out wide. We'll touch upon one of them very shortly. But Danny Welbeck loves a goal against us, of course, as well. But let's get cracking then. A nice warm weekend. Kind of went a little bit cold in the stadium, didn't it?
I haven't been warm today.
It has a little bit nippy. That's why I've got the coat on. But look, let's crack on then. We had a couple of chances early on through Barnes and Willock, but...
Yeah, Willock's one from the left where he kind of flashed in.
Yeah.
That was probably the best one. We had nothing from the right-hand side at all, really. Murphy, as we spoke about scoring the players, was very frustrating. All of his crosses were just swept away at the first man at the front post. But, our threat was pretty much with that nice little triangle between Livramento, Barnes, and with Willock joining in as well.
I want to get straight to the goal because what was that, 25 minutes roughly? Because I was saying to you, if you haven't checked scoring the players, that Willock was our best player up until that point. But
we had a really bright opening 20 minutes to the game. We were by far the better side. We were in command of the game, but we just couldn't find that final pass, that final piece of composure to either give Alexander Isak some actual service or to get anyone else through with a proper shot on goal and test the keeper. But we were in the ascendancy up until their goal.
Let's talk about their goal because it's a key moment in the game where Yankuba Minteh cuts in on the right-hand side. Livramento, you can't allow him to do that. He's running inside the box. He tricks Tonali. He gets the shot off Nick Pope. Nick Pope gets no chance. And Newcastle are 1-0 down. We're pointing the finger at two of those players there. Livramento and Tonali should be doing better.
Yeah, frustrating goal to concede. There's been a few like that this season. It was sloppy all round from Livramento. I don't think Tonali covered himself in glory in the first half as well today. Annoying, really annoying. And of course it had to be Minteh, who then tried not to celebrate in front of our fans, but was celebrating, not celebrating.
Was
if
he
you know
provoking
what
us?
I mean. Whether he was or not, it certainly had that response, which was then he didn't appreciate very much. He was told in no uncertain terms to go away by the away end, and then he lost his head a little bit and started kissing the Brighton badge and doing that. I mean, he was acting like, not celebrating like he'd been here for 10 years. He wasn't even here for 10 minutes. I don't even think, did he have a training session here?
No? Well, maybe here.
Well, yes, yeah, but at Newcastle, he was shipped straight out on loan to Feyenoord as soon as he was announced as signing. So whether or not he even had a training session at Newcastle, I don't know. But yeah, just get on with it. Celebrate with your team, not in front of the away end.
We should be doing better, those two.
It was a poor goal to concede, but
to be honest, yes, we had a lot of the ball, but did we test the keeper up until half time? We didn't, did we?
No, he didn't have a thing to do.
He didn't, and yeah, you can have the ball on the world. Brighton wanted to sit back and more or less act as the away team. They've done it a couple of times to us earlier this season, where we'll have all the ball, but can you then find something? And we didn't at half time. Half time come out. It wasn't long until the change. Obviously, we had a Murphy chance that he blew over the ball, all over the bar. It was about 57, 58 minutes. And Eddie Howe just said, nah, enough's enough, I'm taking you off.
I think it would have been in his mind anyway. I said to you at half time, it wouldn't surprise me if Gordon was introduced or maybe even Wilson for a bit of change of tactic. And that eventually happened. But like you say, not at half time. He gave Murphy 10 minutes to prove it. To prove himself for this game, and he couldn't do so. So yeah, it was the right change at the right time, and Gordon had that instant impact in winning a penalty.
Let's talk about it, because there's a few of these to go through. The first one then, so Gordon's picked the ball up instantly on the left-hand side. He's coming in, and then he is tripped. There's a question of, was it inside, was it outside? Obviously, we've got a good view of it because it's right in front of us. It looked inside for us, but there's journalists, there's TV people saying that it was outside. Where do you stand on that?
Not a clear and obvious error by the referee.
Was contact initially outside?
Yeah, but it carried on into the box, which is how we've conceded the penalty this season. That's my issue. I've got the initial contact was outside the box, no problem, but then that carried on into the box, and then we have conceded a penalty just for that sort of scenario this season, and I don't know. You can kind of see why the referee gave it on field. Was it a clear and obvious error? I don't know. Very disappointed.
It wasn't that long that we had another one, which come very shortly, which obviously...
This one's fine. That was just no penalty. Everyone in the away end, everyone all around us, everyone in the away end,
I looked at you
knew full well that Willock had played for that, and it was not a penalty. To try and defend the referee, you can kind of see why he gave it from the angle he was at. Obviously from behind the incident. But yeah, it was always going to be overturned. I'm going to sneeze.
You're sneezing. There you go.
It was always going to be overturned. I styled that out well. Yeah, and Willock's yellow for simulation or whatever.
After he went to the VAR, of course, it's good to create balls in the net.
Good. I mean, from neutral, you're looking at that and saying VAR's done two good interventions there, or at least one, in my opinion.
Well, that's what it's meant to be there for.
Yeah. So obviously, I get it. It's frustrating for the home contingent, but we didn't have the penalty, so I don't know why they were so up in arms about the situation.
Got a couple. Sorry, just off topic. A couple of Brighton fans are pointing at us because we've got the camera inside a cone. There you go. Say that on the vlog later. And then there wasn't a lot longer that we had another one, did it? I know we had some substitutions, and we'll talk about the impact of Wilson maybe.
Well, yeah, well, no, that's an important point because that happened before our eventual goal as well. We changed it up, took off Willock, sacrificed a man in midfield to go 4-2-3-1. And, Wilson was employed as the number 9 with Isak just off him. Barnes was shipped out to the right when Gordon was introduced on the left, which I thought was potentially a bit harsh on Barnes. I thought he did all right. But yeah, that was kind of doing the trick because Brighton had also switched their formation as well. They went to 5 at the back with the wing backs.
Yeah, Veltman come on, didn't he? Newcastle changed the system, which, sometimes Eddie Howe doesn't do in his time at Newcastle, and he did. We went with the 2 up top. In open play, yes, we'll talk about the Wilson chance, but initially until the third penalty claim, there was nothing from Newcastle. There wasn't enough testing the goalkeeper, but the third one then come in, I think was the free kick, wasn't initially, where Fabian Schar takes it, hits the wall, and I can't remember who shoots. I can't remember, but then I'd seen it just ricochet, and I actually thought it was quite close to his body. Again, I haven't seen it back, because I only get one look at it.
And then the longer that takes to get confirmed, you think, are we actually going to be given 3 on-field penalties, which all get overturned here? This is ridiculous.
Well, it's interesting because the 3 VARs, you only went over once, and obviously down in, where's it at? Stockley Park.
Stockley Park.
And then obviously it's come back, and that's a blatant penalty. So obviously then
Alexander Isak, dispatched the penalty with such ice in his veins.
Can't even speak.
Even if the keeper went the right way, he wasn't getting it. It was
penalty,
nailed on in the corner. Just enough pace. Direction was perfect, nestled in that corner, and we finally got the goal we sort of deserved. The lack of composure today was really, really frustrating because as Eddie Howe was just about to join us over here, not for an interview, unfortunately, but
we will be getting Eddie Howe. Don't worry, I'm chasing after him.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Eddie's about to join us now, it was a deserved point in the end.
So yes, he steps up, so it's 1-1, and then weirdly Brighton just all of a sudden.
He's gone on that bus. He's not going to come past us.
He's gone on this.
You're going to have to hop on the bus to try and get him.
But we'll get the interview for Eddie Howe. Don't worry. So, but then I keep thinking this is going to reverse this because I keep yelling it. And then Callum Wilson had that chance.
Where's it going to reverse to? The curb's there.
And now he can still swing. And then Wilson had that chance. He's got to keep it down, Sam. I know we had a disagreement, didn't we, in scoring the players. He has to keep that down, doesn't he? And now you're saying
he took it first time, which was the right thing to do. Like I said in scoring the players, when you're a striker that hasn't scored for a while and not had the best time of things, he's obviously had such battles with his fitness. Bruno's about to join us now. He's took it first time. There he is.
So, as fans chase Bruno Gomes.
He smells fantastic.
He does. They're all heading off to wherever they're going because they must have a few days off.
There he is. Going to tell him yourself.
There he is.
Well, Carl.
Callum Wilson, Tino Livermore go past us as well. So it finished.
Are you going to go slag him off now?
No.
He's going to do it to his face? Go on, Billy Big Bollocks.
Right.
Give it some. Jacob Murphy's over here.
We're going to let Jacob Murphy go past. And then what we will do is we'll go and get Eddie Howe. So here is Eddie Howe.
Yeah, it's probably a good point for us. We came here to try and win. I thought it was a good performance from us. I thought we were pretty good today without being at our absolute best. Probably a little bit disappointed with how we created around the box. Our final pass, our final cross probably wasn't at its highest level. But I thought we had the mainstay of possession, the mainstay of the chances in the game. We were very disappointed with how we conceded. That's probably the big disappointment for us. Yeah, I thought we did enough to definitely warrant a point, if not more. I thought we were the team trying to win the game. I thought tactically we were very good today. I have to give a full compliment to all the players for how we dealt with Brighton because they're a difficult team to stop. And not only that, how we chased the game as well, because that is sometimes a very difficult thing to do, but I thought we chased the game with intelligence and ultimately got our reward. I think that's what VAR is there for. I mean, if the first tackle's outside the box, then that's the right call. If Joe Willock wasn't touched, it's the right call. But I thought the third one was a Stonewall penalty.
Right, we are back. As you can see, Eddie Howe is just going to be walking past us. There he is, so we have grabbed him for a quick chat. And if you believe that, well, you just believe anything. So, where were we? As Tyndall walks up as well. So we finished 1-1. There was a lot of commotion. Say again?
Basula's
there. Yeah, there's a lot of commotion.
He was the only probably one change that we thought could potentially be made there because, you think with 10, 15 minutes to go, could you bring Basula on for maybe a Barnes who'd ran his race? He's so raw and he's a bit of a nutter, which is why he's going to be a popular figure here. You could see him when he was warming up at half-time. He's running around like a cocker spaniel. So he's obviously a brilliant character, but he's still so raw. And I just think maybe that energy could have been the last maybe change to be employed. We only used 4 of our subs today. Obviously, we brought Botman and Bradford late. But yeah, going back to the point about Wilson, he's had such a horrid time. And you just think when you're a striker kind of out of form and a long time between goals in the Premier League, you just want to hit it as hard as you can. He's hit it first time. He's took it well enough. And the keeper was made to work. It was a good save.
Cool. I'll let you praise and I'll criticise.
Well, you didn't do it to his face.
No.
Saying that, I didn't do it to Murphy's face either. So.
Exactly. He's right. And Murphy stood there for a good 5 seconds.
Yeah, he was. I know. I may as well have just told him I love him because I do. But it just wasn't his.
This is what we live on, game by game, day by day in the world of Newcastle United.
He's had a bit of a stinker today, but it doesn't matter. You come again, and it's a huge game. A huge game next week against Chelsea, who hopefully are not winning.
Which leads me nicely on to. The game is going on. We will put it on the screen at the bottom, the full-time score. Obviously, this video will go out late because long drive home, etc. But it's very tight, isn't it? The Champions League places. Even Arsenal could get dragged into it. But I think they'll be all right.
That would be very funny.
If we beat Arsenal,
that would be very funny.
But I think Arsenal will just have enough.
I think it's a good point here today. And after you'd sit and reflect, and would you have taken a point before the game?
I said 1-1.
That's not what I said. I said, would you take a point? You probably would have said yes. However, it's disappointing in some sense in that they were sort of there for the taking Brighton today. I don't think it was vintage Brighton by any stretch of the imagination. But a point was fair enough on the day, and it's a good point away from home where we have a shocking record. So whether you see that as a bonus point or whatever, win our 2 home games, I think we'll be safe. In the 5 next week. Huge.
It's a bigger game next week than it was here today because we could literally.
Next week is the second biggest game of the season after the cup final.
Yeah, it is because we could literally it could go 2 ways. If we lose, we might be hanging on and playing for one position. If we win, we could almost have one step closer to Champions League where we could have some solid even 3rd place. I think second might be a little bit too far off, but if we beat Arsenal. You never know.
I'm not thinking about second place or whatever.
It's just get the top 5 in it. That's all we need to get top. Because ideally now in the situation that we're in, we'll be disappointed. And now we've won the cup, we've got Conference League. But at this stage right now, come 3 weeks' time, the last game of the season against Everton, if we're not Champions League football, we'll be disappointed from this stage. But with it still being an incredible season. Because regardless, we've got
3 games left and we're well in it. So you couldn't ask for much more, really.
Well, I said 7 points on these 4. We've got 1. So,
win your home games and that's it. And Chelsea have not only got to come to us next weekend, but they've got to go to Forest as well last day of the season. I'm sure
Chelsea have got to play...
Forest, I just told you.
Oh, did you say? Sorry, I wasn't listening to you. What's that? Oh, it's low battery, 40%. I was just checking the low battery, that was all, everyone. Right, well,
you're not planning to edit that bit out?
No, we're going to keep it in. This is what we're doing, the last word. It's just full of games, isn't it? I think that's why people like it. Where was I? Right,
I don't know, we've been waffling on because we've been so distracted by players walking past us.
Audience and everything watching and what have you. But look, as we come to close here, do check out all of our previous videos, a couple of match reactions, scoring the players, the vlog, and this last word. Quick note on the lasses, they are absolutely hammered. Blackburn putting, last time I checked, 5 past them. I think they were 5-1 up. Shania Hale's grabbing hat-trick. Dale is over there. That'll be going on extra the next day or 2. Thanks to Joe. He'll be editing that. Shania Hales has got a hat-trick, so what a season she's had for the lasses. But just touch upon that. Top 5 finish for the lasses. Decent.
Good. Consolidation very comfortably. And yeah, I know the aim was WSL and they wanted it, but look, the amount of injuries they've had this season, and even without those, not going up this season isn't a bad thing whatsoever. Hopefully we can strengthen again. We need a proper centre forward through the door for the women this summer. And hopefully we'll go again. And, next season could be the one to finally make it into the big time.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that release list. Because
we need to keep players fit.
Yeah, and that release list is going to probably cause 1 or 2 eyebrows. But
I don't doubt it, but there's been too many games this season without Alicia Buddy. Potsy's obviously had a bad injury as well. And yeah, there's been so many times. I don't think Becky's been able to put out the same 11 2 games in a row.
No, and a hell of an achievement, by the way, Becky. So 5th place is absolutely incredible. Finish out of the Mackhams, which is always nice. But yeah, we shall love you and leave you from the Amex. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.